Beryl kills at least 4 in Texas as more than 2M remain without power. Live updates. Tropical Storm Beryl unleashed a barrage of severe weather to southeast Texas on Monday, killing at least 4 people, flooding highways, closing oil ports, canceling more than 1,300 flights, and knocking out power to more than 2.7 million homes and businesses. According to the National Hurricane Center, Beryl, the season's earliest Category 5 hurricane on record, weakened from a hurricane after pounding the coastal Texas town of Matagorda, a coastal community between Corpus Christi and Galveston. It had sustained winds of more than 80 miles per hour as it made landfall at 4 a.m. CT. The agency said current conditions could spawn tornadoes in Texas, Louisiana, and Arkansas. By 7 p.m. CT, the Weather Service office in Shreveport, Louisiana, reported it had issued over 50 tornado warnings. The office had also stacked up a list of a half-dozen possible tornadoes. Houston Mayor John Whitmire said most of the city was experiencing floodwaters of more than 10 inches. We're literally getting calls across Houston right now asking for first responders to come rescue individuals in desperate life safety conditions, he said Monday. In a suburban part of Harris County, just northeast of Houston, a man was killed when a tree fell on his home and trapped him under debris, according to Sheriff Ed Gonzalez. In northern Harris County, a tree fell onto a house and killed a 74-year-old woman, Gonzalez said on social media. At least 2 more people died. A Houston Police Department civilian employee got caught in floodwaters driving to work. In southeast Houston, a man was killed in a fire believed to have been started by lightning, Whitmire said at a news conference Monday evening. Last week, Beryl carved a path of destruction across the Caribbean, leaving at least 11 people dead and destroying or severely damaging infrastructure on several islands. Beryl, which at one point strengthened into the earliest Category 5 hurricane on record, last made landfall on Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula Friday morning. Officials in Fort Bend County outside of Houston evacuated the residents of an apartment building badly hit by the storm to local fairgrounds, the county's emergency management agency announced Monday evening. Beryl's maximum sustained winds fell to around 35 miles per hour by 7 p.m. local time. The tropical depression is expected to weaken into a post-tropical cyclone on Tuesday, according to a National Weather Service advisory. It is expected to move through the lower Mississippi Valley and into the Ohio Valley on Tuesday and Wednesday. More than 2.7 million homes and businesses in Texas lost power, according to Patrick and Power Reuters. Several counties in southeastern Texas, including Houston, where many U.S. energy companies are headquartered, are under a flash flood warning as thunderstorms unleashed up to nearly 12 inches of rain in some areas. Closures of major oil shipping ports around Corpus Christi, Galveston, and Houston ahead of the storm could disrupt crude oil exports and shipments of crude to refineries and motor fuel from the plants. The Corpus Christi ship channel has reopened, while the Port of Houston was projected to resume operations on Tuesday afternoon. At least 2 locations on the west side of Houston experienced major flooding Monday, according to the National Water Prediction Service. They included the White Oak Bayou, where the water rose more than 25 feet, and the Buffalo Bayou, where the water rose 24 feet, both within about 9 hours. Across eastern Texas, heavy rain and flooding triggered water rescues as people became trapped in their homes and vehicles. More flooding expected in Houston, as Beryl drenched the region north of Houston. Officials urged residents to stay off the roads. Don't let the clear skies fool you, Whitmire said. We still have dangerous circumstances. We still have high water. Russell Richardson, a Houston Police Department information security officer, died after being caught in floodwaters on his way to work Monday morning. The police shared on social media. He was 54. Brent Taylor, Chief Communications Officer for the city's Office of Emergency Management, said rain falling north of the city went through Houston's Bayou system, a network of creeks that can easily overflow. The flooding isn't over, he said. We anticipate the cresting will happen later as the water moves down to the Gulf of Mexico. Additional flooding plus the impact of the power outage on city traffic lights will continue to make driving dangerous, he said.